Public bathrooms, gas stations, parking ramps, even workplaces. Overdoses are happening everywhere and anywhere in places we visit every day.
In June of this year, we reported there was a record number of heroin deaths just in Madison. It was the second worst month for overdoses, a 450% increase in just 1 year.
And Narcan can reverse an opioid overdose. It's been used for decades by Madison Fire, and police have administered it since 2014. Now we're learning just how often the life-saving drug is being used. Here's NBC15 Investigates' Hannah Anderson.
John and Amy, this video is proof. Just look at it there. Overdoses are happening everywhere, every day, even in workplaces like these. This save happened in a Middleton workplace in the middle of the day. A local paramedic says illegal drugs in Madison are getting stronger, and because of this, firefighters need to administer not one, but sometimes multiple doses of Narcan to bring people back to life.
7835. What do you think?
A common call in a public place.
Can you start MFR to our location? Again, we're worried it might be an opioid overdose.
As police and firefighters frequently respond to heroin overdoses, this one is in a Madison parking lot.
Wake up!
A passerby called UW police after finding this 34-year-old man passed out on the ground.
Wake up!
As the officer administers a dose of Narcan,
wake up, man!
It's a matter of life,
wake up,
or death.
Wake up! What'd you take today?
They're trying to say my name, Marty, you know, wake up, wake up.
Marty Berry has been on the receiving end of that wake-up call.
The next thing I remember, I was waking up in the ambulance.
He too was found unconscious in a parking lot. He woke up to paramedics who had just saved his life.
The first thing I said to them when, you know, after they'd asked me all those questions is I says, why didn't you leave me there? You know, because I was that down and I was just, you know, I was at that low point in my life where I didn't want to live anymore.
Now in recovery, Barry's 7-year drug battle started with prescription painkillers, which led to heroin and multiple overdoses.
You know, and it's not even to get, you know, to get high. After a certain point, it's just to get well.
The strength of the opiates are getting stronger.
Using naloxone or Narcan is part of a typical day for Madison Fire Department paramedic Angelo Aguirre.
Narcan will block the opiate receptors in the brain and basically allow them to have that drive to breathe again.
NBC15 Investigates reviewed the amount of money the Madison Fire and Police Departments spent on naloxone and Narcan. Over the last 4 years, the fire department has spent $100,000. In a 2-year period, the police department has spent $30,000.
Yeah. Wake up! Talk to us, man!
If there's somebody at home right now kind of watching, asking the same questions about why should we continue this, you know, I would say that never count out the fact that your daughter, your mother, your sister, your brother, your grandma, somebody could get, you know, a hold of some opiates and eventually, you know, develop an addiction.
We never had 30 overdoses in 1 month. Now that's pretty much the norm.
Madison police officers and firefighters don't wear body cameras. NBC15 Investigates requested footage from Middleton Police, which goes to show that overdoses are happening everywhere.
This affects everybody, no matter if you're male or female, from America or not from America, or rich or poor. You see this in every scenario, in every household.
While the data reveals the need for Narcan is consistent, NBC15 Investigates found scenarios where administering multiple doses are growing. In a 10-month period last year, Madison police recorded nearly 200 overdoses. A quarter of those incidents required Narcan. 19 of them needed more than 1 dose. In the first 8 months of 2018, Madison Fire responded to more than 300 overdoses. 1/3 needed more than 1 dose.
Come on, police, wake up!
6 years after he nearly died, Marty Berry is thankful he answered his wake-up call.
I'm so grateful that, you know, I was able to come out of that, you know, and I'm still alive.
A call not everyone answers in time.
Continue CPR.
5538, Narcan administered.
Hannah, such disturbing video, but boy, it just shows you what some people are dealing with every day out there on the streets. And I guess not everyone agrees on the use of Narcan.
Yeah, this is a conversation that's been happening for quite some time now. We all know, we've been covering it. NBC News actually did a story profiling an Ohio sheriff who says he refuses to give his officers Narcan to carry because they're treating people multiple times multiple times on separate occasions, or they're administering multiple doses like we're seeing right here in Madison.
And this is really the whole point of your investigation, is to start that conversation and that dialogue.
Yes, exactly. You know, we've done a number of stories on Narcan over the years. This isn't something new, but I felt like this conversation really needed to continue, especially with how many times we're seeing and hearing our first responders giving multiple doses to the same people, some on the same time, sometimes on separate occasions. Proof was when our promo just started airing just a few days ago, or about a week ago. We had two mothers who lost their children to overdoses. They wrote into me immediately and they said, I'm really worried about this story and if it's painting a negative picture about Narcan, because they say and they argue that recovery really isn't possible without Narcan. So that's why NBC15 Investigates so important at this time, because we want to encourage you to reach out so we can look a little bit more into topics like these and have thoughtful conversations and dialogue in our community.
Yeah, real eye-opener. Thank you, Hannah.
This is your Weather Authority forecast.